Hi, my name's Luke, and I'll be doing my speech on the Baseball Hall of Fame. The Baseball Hall of Fame is located in Cooperstown, New York, and it's an establishment that houses memorabilia. Today you can walk in and there are different rooms that dedicate documentaries to certain players or certain events that happened in baseball history, and it covers baseball from when it started in the late 1800s all the way up to today's date, and it explains how certain aspects of the game have not changed throughout history, but it also shows how the game has evolved from velocity, from players getting bigger, from training methods changing over the course of baseball's lifetime. And it's very, very interesting to see what's changed and to see how the fans have reacted to the changes, how the players have reacted to the changes, and just the feeling that people get from the game. And the Hall of Fame is the best place to just understand how different generations have, thought about the game and how they viewed it, what it meant to them. The Hall of Fame is a critical part of American history, as the biggest moments from the game live on and tell stories that reflect the spirit of the Americans that viewed the games, that knew the players, that lived in towns where there was a club or lived in states where there was a club, and they were able to identify with the different struggles, with the different triumphs, just all throughout history. For example, the New York Yankees, they have several different decades of teams that have their own identity, that have things that were special about them that maybe no other team in history has to claim. No other team especially has 27 World Series rings, and that's something that the casual fan could just go to the Hall of Fame and learn about. But they can also learn about the struggle of the Cubs, who in 108 years, they didn't win a World Series. And some fluke things happened, and some struggles with the club and with certain players and with the city, and then what it meant to the city of Chicago when the Cubs won it in 2016. It was a huge deal. It was one of the biggest moments in baseball history, is ending that drought. And that's something that the Hall of Fame enshrines and will make sure that that moment and that feeling lives on forever. Certain things that are in the Hall of Fame, you can sit in Hank Aaron's locker, you can sit in Babe Ruth's locker. There are different lockers that were donated or given to the Hall of Fame that you can go in and sit in the same exact spot that these absolute legends sat in. You can see things like different baseball cards, like the Honus Wagner card, for example. He didn't want his baseball card to be sold because kids were buying them and getting the tobacco that was once sold with them, because baseball cards came with tobacco. So then he didn't want kids ingesting or smoking or doing anything with tobacco. So it was a really good move by him, but he was a really great player. And then because he didn't want these kids to be smoking tobacco, his card was very, very, very limited in supply. So the people that have it today, it's worth millions of dollars, and the Hall of Fame has one of those cards, and you can go see it. So that's pretty cool. But besides material things, there are things like the legend and the past of Jackie Robinson, the first black player to play in the major leagues. That is a huge deal, and it was the first time that baseball had integrated the races to be able to play on the same field, and there was a lot of struggles, and the success and the good that came from it was way, way greater than any struggles that happened. But still, Jackie faced a lot of discrimination. He faced a lot of hardship. And being that first guy to play with white players at that high of a level and he excelled, and he opened the door for other African Americans to be able to play. And now you see in the game that it's a lot of different races on teams. It's not all white, it's not all Dominican, it's not all black, it's all together. And that's something that baseball history wasn't always like that. And the Hall of Fame can show you that, and then it can also show how far they've come to, progress. People being able to have the chance to play no matter who you are, no matter what you are. So that's just the most important part, is that the Hall of Fame shows where the game was and the greatness and the goodness that was there, but also where we needed to go. And today it shows how far we've come, but also not forgetting the traditional values of the game that make it what it is and that make it such a great game in America's pastime. Baseball will never die, because things like the Hall of Fame and things just how the game makes people feel and the history behind it is something that will always be cherished and will always be remembered, especially in the Hall of Fame. So thank you guys for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.